Hey everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, or welcome back if you were watching my Katy Keene chapter review, my full season 1 review, as well as now you're very curious to see what I hope to see in season 2. But before we begin all of that, all those good times, we need to talk about the very weird comments that the CW has been making. So, as of this current moment, for the first time in since I've been doing predictions for next seasons, which so far I have not be able to talk about since none of the seasons I've talked about have already aired. But the weird thing about this one is that when Katy Keene first premiered, there was literally an interview done, not an interview, like a report that was made that the CW had reportedly ordered 13 additional scripts for the show. So many people assumed that, oh, it was for the first season, but when the announcement was made, Lucy Hale, the actress who plays Katy Keene, announced that she literally wrapped season 1 the day before the show premiered on the CW. So that was kind of the weird thing, because like, okay, so are they gonna go back to shoot the second half of season 1, or is this gonna be like just saved over for season 2? So technically speaking, the CW there was more episodes ordered than Katy Keene, so I don't know why they didn't just make it a proper season 2 announcement. I don't know. Also, with everything happening at HBO Max, I'm assuming they're waiting on that. Hopefully, it will get the same love that Riverdale had after its first season, and we'll hopefully get that season 2 renewal at some point in the summer. But until then, at this current juncture, given as well as the CW schedule for the next television season is very off the charts, I sadly do not believe we will see Katy Keene again on our screens for, I don't even want to say a long time. I'm going to say it's going to be a year. And that sucks, because again, it really does. Again, we've seen shows like Westworld and Game of Thrones, and what was that other show that took so long? And Rick and Morty. They just take so long with their seasons, and it's understandable given how you don't want to rush good storytelling, as well as you don't want to rush the writing and make it just not that great, just to get it out quicker. It's just unfortunate with COVID and the CW's confusion, and understandably, like there's this very stigma that the CW renews everything. Spoilers: the CW does not renew everything. It does. There was like a pair of shows in 2017, 2016 that were newcomer shows, and some people were, and I think these were the last original IPs the CW had done, and then they literally canceled those. And I believe the CW just relied on pre-existing franchise. That's a whole nother episode for another time period. And the point I'm trying to make is that Katy Keene really does deserve season 2. I do not believe this is the end of their story. Plus, with Riverdale getting a time jump and everything, it just makes more sense for there to be a Katy Keene season 2, just so we can have that potential crossover at some point down the line. Plus, when you're setting up Hiram Lodge for season 2, you can't really leave fans on that much of a cliffhanger. We need to see that continuation, which I'll talk about when I get to the actual predictions itself. So please, the CW, please renew Katy Keene, and hopefully, if you are wanting to see Katy Keene again, please go HBO Max. The whole season's there. The numbers, if you're actually looking at the episodes and seeing them again, it will actually help get season 2 off the ground. So please come on, let this cast, let this amazing crew continue their work on another season of the show. And hopefully we'll get to see more Katy Keene seasons in the future. But right now, please go watch Katy Keene on HBO Max. Or I believe it's still on the CW app. I'm not sure really. No, they took it off for HBO Max. So only, please go to HBO Max. I know it's a pain because you got to pay for a subscription. Believe me, I have to do so for the next show I'm reviewing. But however, there's a lot of great shows on there. This is not. And before I continue this, I am not sponsored by HBO Max. I wish I was sponsored, but I'm not sponsored. So, and I am going to get HBO Max regardless of anything. So, with that being said, please go watch Katy Keene so we can get that season 2 renewal. Yeah. So, without being due, let's hope what I think we will be seeing in a potential season 2 of Katy Keene. So it is still very weird for me to say, because I just did the Rookie season 3 one literally yesterday, and it's weird to talk about this because all the other reviews and predictions I've done, I knew there was going to be a follow-up season. We were going to see the story continue. So it's still weird for me to think that, well, no, there is no official season 2 yet for Katy Keene, which is unfortunate. But again, it's not stopping me. Hopefully we will get season 2. But again, let's get into the actual season 2. prediction. So when will I believe Katy Keene season 2 will come out? In my expert opinion, which is not that much of an expert opinion, if we were to get another season of the show, um, given COVID, given the current status of the CW waiting on HBO Max numbers to come in, because another thing, and my last tangent on this is that HBO Max is still a new platform. The CW had a really great relationship with Netflix going on for years and years and years. So pretty much, the Netflix were pretty much basically paying the CW to make new shows for them, make new seasons for their existing catalog. So it made it more easier to do that. But they kind of want to expand and since keep it all in the Warner Brothers family. So moving into HBO Max was a smart move for the newer shows like Batwoman and Nancy Drew and Katy Keene. So yeah, I understand that logic, but I forgot what the original topic was. But anyway, so hopefully those streaming numbers do help. But however, even without that, I do believe we will not get Katy Keene season 2 until, if it's going to come out mid-season, so 3 months, 4 months later, I'm going to say May 2021. That's my firm possibility, which means that even though we're still in May 2020, the fact that we have to still wait another year to see that is unfortunate. But again, that's the nature of the current climate of the world plus the current nature of television. That's sadly the case. Some shows have to be punted back, and considering the fact I've seen already the CW's lineup for when we come back, it is, I think, one of the strongest lineups ever. It's not my personal favorite one because they punted back Supergirl, they punted back Legends of Tomorrow because of for mid-seasons and plus other factors to why they want to punt them back, and certain other pilots and spin-offs haven't been picked up just yet. But I do believe the next season lineup, the starting lineup, is a very strong lineup, and I can't wait to see how they're going to implement that when we come back in January. However, the fact that Katy Keene's not on there is a little bit of a bummer, but it's a small price to pay when we do eventually get to see our favorite Golden Girls again. So anyway, enough about that. My set prediction, May 2021. Please do not hold me to this prediction. I could be wrong. We'll see next year. But no matter what, we're not getting Katy Keene season 2 this year at all. That's not happening. We're not doing another episode review this year. So now that that's being said, the story. Let's get to the story. So where do we see season 2 go? So we're going to be in a very interesting chapter. No, not chapter. Like a new section of this story, because the season 1 story kind of wrapped fairly neatly. Like majority of the storylines we've been seeing since episode 1 to episode 13. Chapter 1 to chapter 13 were so nicely well lit, and there, of course, obviously, there's still some lingering plot threads for season 2 to explore, and some new developments of the season 1 finale left open to potentially see in season 2. So those were left open. But however, where I would like to see season 2 go as the overall theme for next season is, how do I even... I swear to God, I found my Xbox turned on again. My Xbox is haunted somehow. I keep hearing the startup noise behind me. Like, what the I didn't even touch it. But anyway, the theme I kind of want season 2 to go through is evolution. That sounds kind of weird, but here's the thing. Season 1, we kind of see I don't know how to explain it. Season 1 saw the Golden Girls, even when we were still just seeing them for the first time. We're seeing them have to deal with adaptation, where Katy had to deal with all these changes. Josie had to deal with the changing nature of her music career. Pepper with adapting to all the major obstacles that came her way to starting up the play. And Jorge dealing with all the many challenges that his drag queen life and his personality, which are all strong characteristics for him, but he had to deal with a lot of pushback because of it. That's what they had to deal with in the first season. In season 2, I kind of want to see them evolve into the next thing. Like, we've seen them conquer these challenges, but I want to see them tackle, like, they need a full-on evolution, the next stage of themselves, because that's the whole point of your young 20s, and I can't even say that properly because I'm still in my young 20s. My 20s in general, is finding yourself. You're branching away from your teen years fully, and you're going into what you're going to be for hopefully the rest of your life. It's still a long ways away. This is not going to be an easy thing that they're going to solve in like one season or anything, but it is definitely going to be something that they're going to like really, really tackle on as season 2 begins, where in season 2, Katy is in a very new territory where she has to evolve, because she is now, well, she's not Guy's apprentice anymore. She's working full-time at Lacey's again. So pretty much she's come full circle except with a whole new team. and dealing with, for the first time ever, not having any sort of like her two major romantic connections in the first season are, and I should forget to mention, like, I will spoil a lot of stuff for season 1, so please watch season 1 of Katy Keene before you watch this video. Her first love is gone. Again, I do believe we will see KO again once I talk about the character section. I just don't think it's going to be an immediate, like, we're going to see KO again in the season premiere. And Guy's gone. Guy's off, probably doing his own thing again now that, Lacey's been taken over by a new, not a new entity, but like it has new management. And then I want to see Josie now having to evolve away from Alex, which was her boyfriend / manager. She has to now evolve into, like, how does she look like going into things with now Pepper as her manager, and Pepper now having her play. How does she evolve herself? Like, she has the place, but now she has to, like, really let it rise through the ranks. So that's what I want to see. And Jorge is going to have the fight of his life, believe me or not. He's going to have a major fight. Like, he's going to have to change into a very brash person and a very, like, he's going to have to fight. Not physically, but, like, very much fight more than ever, as he's going to hopefully face off against Hiram Lodge next season. Because, oh man, that man's going to be a freaking challenge. You haven't seen Riverdale yet, which I think you, yeah, you should. It's Hiram Lodge. Such a good villain, and then also an annoying villain. So yeah, he's going to be a very interesting challenge for the Golden Girls to face next season, whatever shape or form he's going to take when we come back. Hopefully when we come back. So that's what I like to see personally. The overall theme of season 2 is evolution. Down to the characters more specifically. Again, we're going to work our way from the smallest to the no real order. I'm just saying that. In general, the Cabots, Alexander and Alex. Alexander was in a very interesting position where I don't think her rivalry with Josie is fully done. I feel like they have a new sense of respect for each other when we wrapped up in season 1, but there's still like some personality issues between these two, and I do believe Alexander is going to somehow still come up in the whole. There's going to be more to her than we're going to have to deal with in season 2. Probably as a proper musical rival to Josie. Not like trying to be a dick to her, but just trying to be a real rival for her. As for Alex, there's any amount of directions you can take with Alex next season. I did say before my season 1 reviews that Alex, I think, was the most underutilized character, and the character that it still grappled me some episodes to like try and figure out his place in this group, in this show. And again, it was no fault to the actor. It's just that when you're dealing with an ensemble cast, some characters were going to get the short stick even in the first season. Again, that's my personal opinion. And so for Alex in season 2, I do want him to have, like, when he does come back from rehab, where do we see him? Do we see him as a fully changed person? Do we see him kind of relapse again? I do want to see Alex kind of have a bigger purpose again, regardless. But the problem that needs to be stressed is that when it comes to the rehab storyline, it's very crucial that they don't like make him relapse again, because that's just going to be the go-to answer in case like something happens to Alex. Is if the character falls flat, is that we'll just have him relapse and then have him put away and then just start fresh. I don't want to see that happen. I want to see him have a more fresher perspective, and I want to see him have this new direction to see with. And I don't think he's going to come back early on season 2. I think he's going to be more like a mid-season, like halfway through return, and then having, dealing with Pepper being Josie's new manager, possibly having that jealousy and rivalry. It'll be interesting to see. That's just my base scenario, but I do want to see Alex have a much more bigger purpose in season 2 than he did in season 1. Who else was in the cast? Before I get to the Golden Girls. KO. Again, KO is going to be that character where it's like, I would not be surprised if they demote him to guest star or recurring. I am not surprised given the fact that his story is currently taking him away out of New York. So it would be very unrealistic for him to just come back and forth from Philly just to like be part of the show. I do expect him to be demoted to recurring, but I still anticipate to see him as an important character in Katie's story, in the overall story of the show. We already seen him, like, the thing about that I respect about the show is that they didn't do the cliche trope about the show where it's like we were going to wait the entire season before, Katie and KO break up, and then, the things that they did in the first 3 episodes of the season, I had a feeling that, like, they were going to stretch this out to the full 13. Thankfully, they didn't, so we're already a little bit of ways ahead of the curve here, so I do want to see season 2 KO kind of, when he does come back, have this different perspective, because Philly is a much different environment from New York, so having that lifestyle affect him, and then eventually him coming back to New York, probably either for Katy or maybe a matchup for him, is going to be something that I'll be curious to see, and how they'll tackle that on is another thing I really want to see. Um, Again, with Katy now being in this new environment, and I'll talk about Katy in a moment, but I want to see how KO, a new KO, a new evolved KO is going to match a different evolved Katy. That's what I'm very curious to see next season. I'm missing a couple of the minor characters, but yeah. So on to the Golden Girls. Jorge's gonna have a very different challenge this season, as hopefully he's gonna face off against Hiram Lodge, where Jorge's already now screwed over Hiram Lodge before he knew Hiram Lodge, and now that Hiram knows about him, he's like, you're locked into his crosshairs. Like, somehow he's going to take you out. And ironically, the episode before, the last Riverdale episode, one of the last Riverdale episodes we saw before the break, we got to see him kill a man just by only threatening Veronica. So how do you feel, if that's only for his daughter, how do you feel like when you're messing with him? And again, this is a Hiram 5 years older. It doesn't seem like he has his family with him. So how is a single Hiram Lodge going to really devastate everything Katy in the world of Katy Keene? That's what I'm curious to see, and hopefully it will be something fun to see. And of course, obviously, I want Jorge to kind of grow more as a person. Having to deal with this much more bigger challenge than he's ever faced before, and hopefully the Golden Girls will be around to help him out and deal with this threat. And Josie, oh my God, Josie's going to have a very tough case of deja vu when she eventually learns that Hiram's around. Oh God. Pepper, ironically, one of the episode titles I made for one of my reviews was Pepper Smith Origins for season 1. And that was just such a great episode as we got to see more about Pepper. And then in season 2, I do want to see her evolve again. The whole theme, again, I want season 2 to be is evolution. Where I want season 2 Pepper to be... She has the place of her dreams. She has the business of her dream. Now she has to become the person that's ready to lead this charge. We got small snippets of her in season 1, but of course, obviously, with everything going on, with her legality issues and her ex-wife coming to town, it just very much shaken her up. And now that her full persona has been revealed, it's going to be a bit difficult for her to now try and accept who she is, and now has to push forward with it. And also being Josie's manager, so it's also adding another layer into their already existing relationship. How do we see that be tackled is something I really am going to be enjoying to see in season 2. Josie is in a very interesting place where, again, she's kind of in peace with everyone around her. So now it's where are we really going to see her continue onwards in season 2? Where do we see her? Do we see her continue to kind of have more setbacks and successes, or do we see kind of her dealing with more successfulness with Pepper involved, but then when Alex comes back, do we see that have a relapse just because she is still his girlfriend in a sense? And yeah, so how do we see that get grappled onward to her, and how's her and the new Pussycats are gonna they gotta really elevate their game to because again, New York's only getting more difficult and difficult. And Katy, I think next season I kind of don't want to see Katy locked down romantically. It's kind of weird to say, and I know again this is a CW show. There's gonna be romance at some point, but if Supergirl can do this, I wouldn't expect I would expect Katy Keene to follow suit. Is that they don't necessarily need to continue bringing into new love interests for Katy. I know KO's gone, Guy's kind of burned out of her life. And also, I know there's the Prince. I know he's still around, but whether or not Katy will follow suit on those entanglements and those feelings, I don't know. But I kind of just want to see her figure more stuff out about her mom, things she didn't know about her mom, and also is this LL her dad? And do we see flashbacks of her actually her final moments with her mom? This is all very curious because season 1 I was honestly expecting we're gonna get flashbacks of her last days with her mother. And the thing is that we didn't get that. Was a very interesting direction for the character and for the story, not the character, that I respect, because so many shows harp on that, and I know it's supposed to be an emotional moment, but I'm actually surprised and honored, not honored, but grateful they didn't follow through on that, and they just kept towards the character and just getting minor mention and letting them I know it's better to show than tell, but sometimes, like, I remember the episode where Katie was having an argument with Jorge. Like, the emotional response Katie had in that episode, and also shout out to Lucy Hill for that performance, was, this is something where it's like you feel the character actually like really being emotionally affected by the loss of a loved one. This was a much better moment than, like, let's say we get a flashback of Katie, remembering her last moments with her mom. That scene was much better handled. But we'll see what happens, and that's kind of where I want to see the characters go next season. And hopefully I'll be right. We'll see when we hopefully do come back next year, and yeah, I mean, in terms of like the overall Riverdale connection, I do want to see a proper Riverdale crossover. Again, with the confirmation that yes, Riverdale is going to get a time jump. Will that be the 5-year time jump or a 4-year time jump? Who knows? But I do want to see a time jump. I do want to see these characters collide, and maybe get some more proper Riverdale cameos. Because the way they handled the Riverdale cameos this season was very much more successful than failures. Because, like, again, I liked Josie's mom and Hiram being in the season. I didn't exactly like Kevin's appearance because it felt he brought too much of Riverdale with the show, and the show's trying to be beyond Riverdale, if you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah, that's my hopes and wants for season 2 of Katy Keene. So let me know in the comments. What do you want to see in season 2? Do you want to see more Riverdale characters? What do you want to see these characters go for next? When do you think the season will premiere? Let me know. I'm always open to conversation in the comments below. And that's going to do it for me, guys. So that was a wrap on our Katy Keene season coverage. It's an end of a journey, but for now. But hopefully we will be back for another round of Katy Keene episode reviews, seasons and reviews and predictions when we come back next year, hopefully. But until then, this has been What's on the Tube from ActionX. If you want to see more of What's on the Tube, overall speaking, we do DC Stargirl episode reviews every Friday after a brand new episode on Monday on DC Universe. Also after Tuesday nights on the CW. And so you have 4 days to watch the episodes if you want to, and then catch our episode reviews on Fridays. We have just wrapped our rookie episode review coverage for our Monday time slot. So right now we're doing one for Swamp Thing and Westworld coming up, and then we'll announce the next show when those two are over. And as for us, so for the Saturday time slot, we're done with our Katy Keene coverage. So what's next? Well, I'm not ready to announce the next show we're reviewing just yet. But again, before I get to my formal goodbye to you, Golden Girls, next time I'm reviewing the remaining High School Musical movies to kind of wrap up the musical Saturday tradition I wanted to do during the regular television season. So we're doing High School Musical 2 next week, High School Musical 3 the week after that, and then Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure the week after that. And then after all those movies are done, we will get to the next show, which will probably be announced in the slate of the channel. Update coming out this coming Tuesday. So you want to get an early sneak peek of what we're doing after Katy Keene properly, check that out. Obviously, but then I will announce the next show I'm reviewing after the Sharpay review. But however, if you only cared about Katy Keene, this was the end of the road. It's bittersweet. I hate saying goodbye. I really do. Hopefully this will be I'll see you later than a proper goodbye. I really enjoyed this show. I really want to see more of this, and hopefully all of you that have been supporting this ride and this endeavor was also enjoying the show. And thank you so much for watching the reviews, and hopefully sending out for these predictions. And well, Golden Girls, I'll see you guys hopefully in the near future next year for season 2. But until then, stay safe. Be well, be good to each other, respect each other. And I'll see you, Golden Girls, hopefully next year. But until then, this has been What's on the Tube, brought to you by ActionX. If you want to see more of What's on the Tube, please subscribe to ActionX on YouTube. Ring the bell for notification when we have a new review live. Like, favorite, share if you want to, but it does help us out. And please follow us on social media to keep up to date whenever our next video posts, or an update on our next video. But until then, Golden Girls, everyone, be good to each other. Stay safe out there. Peace out.